Rainy morning here at Randwick for Trackwork this morning. We have all the latest ahead of another big day. The Randwick Guineas, the feature, the Canterbury Stakes, which looks set to be a cracking edition, and of course again the 2-year-old picture there with the Riesling and the Todman, and then a strong contingency of gallopers from Randwick here heading down the highway for Black Opal Day at Canberra on Sunday. All the latest from Randwick Trackwork. Nash, you've got a really nice book of rides this weekend. Let's start with Here to Shock, who you won on in New Zealand last start there, and he comes through for the Canterbury Stakes this weekend. Must be exciting to get back aboard him.
Yeah, definitely. He's been in sensational form. Just keeps raising the bar. Comes back 100 metres in trip this time, but we're expecting a bit of rain around this week, so I expect it to be a sort of a stiff sort of 1300, which will suit him. And he's just got his tail right in the air. He's in great form and loving his racing, and I'm sure he'll be very hard to beat.
You had quite a bit of intent with him. You came back off your shoulder injury from Magic Millions to hop aboard, so you knew that he was the real deal there when you got on the plane to New Zealand.
Yeah, a lot of confidence in the horse. He hasn't let us down yet, and I can't see why Saturday would be any different. As I say, he's just every time we've raised the bar with him, he seems to jump a little bit higher. So Saturday's a good test.
This 2-year-old season is so open at the moment. You are aboard Tentris there in the Todman, who ran second in the Blue Diamond. Have you had a chat to the team there to get a feel on how he's come up?
Well, I think I rode him this morning, so he's definitely come through that run very well. He's a lovely colt. He's got a beautiful attitude, adapted well to this way of going. Couldn't fault him. Yeah, he's just a sort of come back and said that it just gets around like a mini weight for age horse. So looking forward to having a sit on him, and he's in the right camp. They've had great success sort of bringing him up this way, and I can't see why Saturday would be any different.
It's anyone's slipper at this stage at the moment too, isn't it, with the way the 2-year-olds are?
I think so. Yeah, if he can hold together for another month or whatever it is, he's going to be right in the mix.
And then you're on Komochi, who resumes off the one trial there over 1,000 metres, and you were on her in the trial too.
Very happy with her. It's great to sort of pick up a ride like her. She's been a mare that's sort of just figured in pretty much the finish of every top race we've got. So it could be sort of a case of being her preparation to really shine. And I was really wrapped with the trial. She sort of had a soft trial there, but she's only going to 1,000, so that suited her, I think. And we're really bullish about how she's come up. So hopefully she can run a great race for us.
Tommy, firstly, it's so good to see you back. How'd you pull up after the weekend?
Yeah, really good. I'm not going to lie, I expected to pull up a little bit sore in places and not 100%, but really surprised with how I pulled up. No niggly issues, but did all the right things leading into it to make sure I was in good order. And it was nice to get a winner straight away and had a really good weekend without one on Saturday.
And let it keep rolling into this weekend. Militarising the Canterbury Stakes, you had a gallop on him, an exhibition gallop there on Saturday. He looked, I reckon, the best I've seen him.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting actually. I didn't ride him a lot when he was younger. I know obviously Joe had a bit to do with him, and at 3 I was out for a year, so I haven't really seen a lot of him until now. And if I sneezed on him on Saturday, he would have absolutely let rip. So it was a really nice gallop from him. He's sharp. He's going to enjoy if we get the rain that's meant to be coming, so the sting out of the track won't affect him at all. And if you go back through his form, like first up last prep, he was second at Fangirl, so it's some pretty good form he's leading into.
We've talked so much about these 2-year-olds this season and how open it is. You sit aboard Palatine in the Todman. What are your thoughts with him?
I've always loved this horse from the time I sat on him. Obviously, the wind was out of our sails a little bit with him first up, but he was first up after 5 weeks off. We know Michael's horses always improved with a run under their belt, and he had a very big blow after the race, so he's taken good improvement from that. I galloped him last Tuesday, was very pleased with him, and about to get on him soon. So look out for him Saturday. I know people have forgotten about him, but I think they'll be talking about him again after the weekend.
I reckon it's the way it is with the 2-year-olds at the moment, isn't it? Athabaskan as well. He has been such a consistent horse. There's been a bit of a flashing light on him this prep as well.
Yeah, he was very good first up. He'll run again on the weekend. Might have one more run into a Sydney Cup where he ran second in the race last year. He was really good in a Melbourne Cup as well over the spring, so he just loves that 3,200 metres when he gets to it. And I reckon this is the best he's come back, and I think that's very evident off his first up run. It's probably the best he's run first up as well. So maybe you look for a touch of a flat second up run for him, which you can expect, and then he'll be ready to rock and roll after that.
Sarge, you're a busy man this weekend, particularly there at Canberra on Sunday, but let's start with China Sea and the Randwick Guineas, second up coming through the Hobartville.
Yeah, he just ticked over in the Herbertville, better couple home, but his gallop today showed that he's improved from that run, so he goes Randwick Guineas on Saturday into the Tulloch, into the Derby, so he's right on track, and I'd expect him to be hitting the line on Saturday.
We've got a couple nommed for the Riesling, that's Nullarbor Jane and Lady Pankhurst. We'll start with Nullarbor Jane, this daughter of Too Darn Hot, who would be on debut. What are your thoughts with her?
Yeah, nice trial win. She's had a couple of trials for 2 wins. Very promising. It's a big ask against the horses, 2-year-olds that have raced and whatever, but you only get to go at black type, every now and then. So she's fitting well, and Tim Clark galloped her today. He'll ride Saturday.
Lady Pankhurst, who came in for a trial last prep, you tipped her out and she's had 2 back in since. Will we see her debut?
Yeah, she trialled very well and won as well. She'll either go Saturday, the Riesling, or the Black Opal. We'll just see what the draws are and whatever, but she's a promising filly, probably with a bit more scope than Nullarbor Jane, and probably be better when she turns 3.
So on the Black Opal then, you did have Nordic Viking nommed for the Todman, but you're probably leaning towards the Black Opal. He would then be third up, this colt by So You Think.
Yeah, Nashro Wheeler galloping this morning, very happy. Blinkers go on. He'll go to the Black Opal on Sunday.
And then Palmetto, who was a real eye-catcher, your 6-year-old gelding, when he ran second, just beaten by our Anchorage. That was a really good run. Will we see him on Sunday in Canberra too?
I think so. I'm just waiting to see the weights. Yeah, the weight just got him at the last start, 2.5 kgs from more than the winner, and I thought he was going to get up, but he's running into good form now, so no, that's a nice race from, I think, on Sunday, the Canberra Cup over 2,000.
Making the trip down there on Sunday?
I think so. It's always a good day out down there. They get a good crowd, and it's not too far.
I've got to ask you about Autumn Blonde too. She was a filly that came out at the very first 2-year-old trials. She's flashy, you can't miss her with her 4 white socks, and she just seems to run really consistent races. I thought she was great there on the weekend. Would she end up running about 4th maybe?
Yeah, she was 4th here, got knocked over just before the line. It was a very good run. She was 3 wide in the open. Just finding getting it mentally right now. So physically she's strong, but mentally she's been a bit of a handful. She's just turned the corner. She'll go to the Magic Night now with the Regan Bayliss on.
Tom, linebacker you have in the Randwick Guineas, how's he been? I know we've seen him back in 2 runs this prep. Bit of a different situation for him in those 2, but his manners obviously much better race day.
Yeah, look, it hasn't quite gone to plan in both the runs. It wasn't our intention to be in such a negative position the other day, and he sort of ended up behind a couple of stayers and didn't really get rolling to the last 200. So it's difficult to get a really good line on exactly how he's prepping up with his sort of final run, but look, we've been very happy with him at home. His work this morning was as pleasing as it's been all preparations, so now getting to a mile and hopefully just getting that first part of the race right will enable him to run really well.
What's he like in his work at home? He's such a well-balanced colt, and he holds himself. He has that sort of head carriage where he holds his neck. What's he like when he works here?
Like, to be fair, he's come back pretty enthusiastic this preparation, and I don't think we should see that as a negative, because I guess you're coming back a fresh gelding, and to see him, just fresh and enthusiastic about being here and in his work, I think is a positive. It's just harnessing it to enable him to sort of show that turn of foot late. So probably first up that's where he went wrong, and he over raced over 1200 without cover, and then obviously second up was a sort of polar opposite. So we're happy enough with his preparation.
You have Schwartz nommed for the Canterbury Stakes. He's had a tick-over trial since where he found the front, was asked to roll along out there. What are your thoughts with him? Will he take his place?
We'll have a look. I mean, there's a few things to come under the bridge the next day or so. It's come up a pretty strong race. There's a lot of some rain forecast through the week. We put him in the noms. We'll have a think and a chat with the ownership group over the next couple of days, but there's also an option to keep him fresh and go to the William Reid back at Moonee Valley 2 weeks later. So we'll just have a think.
Athabaskan runs over 2,000, and obviously he's better once he gets out over a trip, but he looks like he's come back well this prep. He was good in the Parramatta Cup when he resumed.
Yeah, he was very good, and he's a horse sometimes can sort of rope you in second up at 2,000 thinking you're a chance, and I'm not saying he's not a chance, but his record's always been best when he does get that 2,400 metres, but we couldn't have asked any more of him the other day. he looks to have returned really well, and he's on a Sydney Cup path. And if there was a lot of rain this weekend, we could wait for the sky high next week.
Will Snow in May head to the Canberra Guineas? She's had a tick over trial since too.
Yeah, we elected to just leave the hot stuff in the surround, and just come back a grade. And we think she'll be very well placed there on Sunday. She trialled particularly well last week, so it'll be a good chance, hopefully, to maybe pick up some major black type.
Napoleonic nommed for the Todman. He is another one, son of Wooten Bassett, who was an eye catcher there at Warwick Farm. Will he run Saturday, or are you thinking you'll wait?
Probably our preference is to run on Friday in the 1300 at Newcastle, but he's going to be in the Todman and the Black Opal on Sunday. We'll just get through the next couple of days, but our preference would be to run in the 1300, and he's a horse to follow.
Another horse to follow, Artistic Venture. How she pulled up from her win on the weekend. A very hard watch there in the sweating break.
You said win.
Sorry. Oh my gosh. In my head I thought win. I mean her run. Should have won.
Well, yeah, exactly. Look, she's come through the run really well. She's progressing quickly and seems to be, just stepping forward probably quicker than we'd expected. In a year where there's not a lot putting their hands up, she's a chance of getting into a nice race in the next month. So she's going to head to the Magic Night Saturday week. James will ride her.
Pete, I'll just start by asking you about Quietly Arrogant and how he's pulled up from the weekend.
Yeah, really well. Excellent run. He's always showed good ability, and that race was going to be the race we thought we'd see with his up to going towards a Golden Slipper or possibly the Sires. But no, James gave him a good rap after the race. He said he's a fair bit unlucky, and a few of them were. That was a muddling run race, and a few of them held up. He was one of them. But when he got out, he made good ground late and through the line, so they definitely had the pay-go and make a call from there, what we do from there.
Looks as though, even having seen him as a really early 2-year-old at those first trials and this prep, he's filled out even since then to now.
He's a nice horse. As I said, always shown ability. Been a bit of a lad, but the more racing he has, the better he's getting, and he did everything perfect on Saturday, so he's heading the right way.
Let's talk about then your runners this weekend. Spice Prawn, perhaps a debutant in the Riesling. What are your thoughts there with the daughter of Too Darn Hot? She's had 2 nice trials.
Yeah, she goes really good. Spicy Prawn's a name and spicy by nature. She's a little bit feisty, but getting there all the time, and the second trial was very good. The work this morning was excellent this morning, so she's filly with talent. With the Saturdays, just might be a bit too quick for her. I'll probably accept with her, see where she draws and make a call from there, but she's definitely one to follow.
Drifting in the Fireball, who went to Melbourne and she's had a tick-over trial since. What are your thoughts with her?
I was a little disappointed with the run at Caulfield. But she only had 1 trial going into that, so I suppose I gave myself an uppercut of giving her a bit more work, but she work was just so sharp at home, but gave her a tick-over trial here last week. It was very, very good, so I'm confident now she's back on track. Good work this morning, should have her in a good place on Saturday.
Lavish Empire, you've got nommed for either the Newcastle Stakes there on Friday, or will you wait until Sunday?
Yeah, I'll probably look at the fields and make a call from there. Newcastle's come up a bit stronger than I thought. Both tracks suit him, 7 furlongs suits him, and he's knocking on the door. He's racing well without winning, but hopefully wins not too far away.
And will Leroya head to Canberra on Sunday too?
I think so. It looks a nice race for her, the 3-year-old guineas there, 1400 metres. I like the horse, she's got good talent. Added some winkers to her gear this morning and made a huge difference to her, so I think with them on Sunday, it gives a great chance in a black type race.
You've had some good success in Canberra in the past. Last year you won the Black Opal with Holmes Court, and Zadaki won the Canberra Guineas as well?
Yeah, it's been a good hunting field for us. The Black Opal, I think we've won 4 or 5 of them, so we'd love to have another good job down there on Sunday. I love going down there, but it's tough racing. They're hard to win wherever you go now.
Adrian, I think she might be the toughest filly in the country, Lady of Camelot. She's just a marvel.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Really proud of her on Saturday. She stretched her form out to the 1400 metres and ran a very brave race. So looks to have come through it well, and a couple of nice options for her going forward.
Just a genuine tough filly, I feel. We saw North England there at an exhibition gallop on Saturday. All systems go towards the Todman.
Yeah, look, he's in great shape. He's come through that very well. He'll take his place on Saturday in the Todman. He obviously missed that run in the Silver Slipper, which would love to have had with him. But yeah, he's got the benefit of being qualified for the Slipper. So Saturday's race will be an important race for him. I expect him to run well. No doubt there's still some improvement with that, with the lead up that he's had. Some improvement to come going to the Slipper, which is obviously everything that's been his main aim.
And you didn't have to rush, which was always the best thing about it, because you didn't have that pressure of needing to get the prize money for the slipper, did he?
Yeah, look, that's helped in the preparation, no doubt. But it was good on Saturday just to get him out there to the races once again and just have a nice gallop there and stretch his legs. And I thought he looked great in doing so.
You do have far-sighted nom for the Todman, but you've also got him in either in the Black Opal on Sunday. Which way are you thinking?
Look, I'd say we're leaning towards the Black Opal at this stage. Plenty of depth, obviously, to the Todman. He's lightly raced still and had the benefit of having had the run down at Canberra where it won really impressively there on debut. So I guess if he was to be still looking at slipper big picture with him, which he's got plenty of credentials to be there himself, potentially trying to get him qualified, I think the best way to go through would be through the Black Opal.
Will Royal Patronage resume in the Canterbury Stakes?
Yeah, he will. He's trialled up nicely. Lovely horse. It was a great first preparation that we saw from him in Australia, so I'd like to think there's some nice improvement to come off the back of that, but he may find them a little bit sharp over the 1,300 metres, but once he can continue to stretch out late in the preparation, he's on a Doncaster campaign, and once he gets to that sort of trip, it's really going to be very well placed, but he does race well fresh.
All about the 2-year-olds this weekend for you here in Sydney. We'll start with Inkaruna, who's had one trial since she's been up here in the Sydney base. How's she come through that, and how is she for the weekend?
She's good. She obviously won her first start. Settled in well. Bit of a gap between runs, so we opted to give her a trial. It's worked nicely this morning. Handled a bit of soft ground, which it looks like it'll be. So, she's going in there in good order, and I would expect she can be thereabouts.
And then Tentris, who we of course saw when he ran second there in the Blue Diamond, runs around in the Todman. It was a real eye-catcher, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, he we'd liked him from day one. He was okay first start, bit lost, bit new. Improved at his second, and obviously improved again for his third. He's only arrived on the weekend, but he galloped really well this morning, handled everything this direction and the ground. So, going in there with some optimism, it's a strong race. It's probably the race that'll determine everything. So we'll probably work out where we're at.
Very good marker to put him up against. The two-year-olds are just so open at this stage, aren't they?
Yeah, look, doesn't appear to be a standout. Whether that changes this weekend, I'd say we'll find out. But certainly at the moment, they're very even.
You enjoying being here in Sydney in the Tower this morning?
Yeah, no, look, it's good. I've obviously been here before in the 90s and sort of just different people, but I know my way around, and yeah, it's going well.